Control V, Control S. What's the thing you think the team really succeeded on with this set, and what's something you regret about it? Ooh, okay. Something we really succeeded with this set. I think this is tooting my own horn a bit, so apologies, team who watches this, but I think the Treasure Dragon ended up being a pretty big success. I think the Treasure Dragon creates this feeling of agency. It leaves players with this, like, they feel skilled, where it's like, okay, I'm going to plan and get my cloak later. I think that worked out really well. I think when we take out Treasure Dragon, because the odds of us keeping Treasure Dragon are very, very low, I think that'll actually be some pretty big player pain when Treasure Dragon goes away. So I think that was a big success. Something I regret. I mean, there are two things. Well, saying I regret this one isn't really fair because I knew the time constraint, but I really wish we hadn't shipped Blue Galio. You know, like, Blue Galio in particular, I think, was the worst, where it's just like, you have this big tanky champion normally that is supposed to be perceived as a backliner. That was a big regret. I wish we had a unique model for that, but we didn't really have the time, so that's not really fair. The other thing I suppose I regret is that I wish we had gotten more intention around dragon testing and figuring out exactly where their power level's supposed to be. So far on live, the perception of dragons for the first two patches was they're incredibly underpowered, not worth it. And then now in this current patch, there are players, like bad players, but still players, that perceive it as whoever hits the dragon first in stage 2 wins. And so I wish we'd been able to get that in like just the right spot. Now, to be clear, it's certainly not that right now. And yes, I say bad players because there are plenty of comps that win without dragons. It doesn't need an early dragon. An early dragon gives you a slight advantage, no more than hitting anything early does. But it's just that dragons have this perception because they're a big hit moment. Anytime we create these big hit moments, augments, items, dragons, chosens, players perceive them to be the reason they lost, even though there are a variety of other things that happened in the game that could have been why they lost. So it's pretty interesting. That being said, I think one of the other things I regret I don't want to talk about because mid-set may fix it. So, but yeah, that's kind of my answer to that one. All right, Control C,